Alright, so the anniversary stream happened, Medieval 3 is real, the Game Awards happened, and yes, Total War 40k is real, which is exactly why I'm making this video, because between Medieval 3, the anniversary stream, and that 40k reveal, something finally snapped into place for me. Not excitement, clarity. Let's get Medieval 3 out of the way first. It exists, technically, in early pre-production, which is just corporate speak for ideas, whiteboards, sticky notes, and one poor bastard being told to prototype a feature that will probably be cut in 18 months anyway. And look, I want to be excited. I really do. This should be the safest win Creative Assembly has ever had. Medieval Total War is basically printed nostalgia. But I'm not excited, because modern CA has trained me very well. If something can be cut out and sold back later, it will be. So when people hear Medieval 3 and think Knights, Sieges, and Depth, my brain goes straight to the pricing spreadsheet. Hungary? DLC. Byzantines? DLC. The Mongols? That's not DLC, that's just going to be a premium expansion experience. And that's not negativity, that's just watching what they've already done. It's pattern recognition. Which brings us to the anniversary stream. 25 years of Total War. A quarter of a century. And somehow, over half of the entire livestream was about one single DLC. Not the history of the franchise, not the classics, not the games people actually fell in love with, not the journey of how far the franchise has come and its struggles and its triumphs and developments. No, just DLC, monetization, engagement metrics. It felt less like a celebration and more like a quarterly earnings call with swords in the background. I mean, you're so lazy that for one of your most anticipated titles for over 20 years, you showcase AI-generated concept art? Seriously?
Hey Jeremy, how do we leave? More importantly, Hammond, how the fuck do we get in here?
And when you talked about your new engine, you had one of your own interviewing yourselves? Pretending to be surprised about new features? What, could you not get one of your Shield content creators to come over? So this guy had to fill in. Like, brother, you opened up the entire stream yourself and told everyone you're a manager at a Creative Assembly. What the fuck are you talking about? Why are you acting like you don't know any of this already? And look, I will give them this, because I don't want this whole video just to be one constant Doom post. They did the early Medieval 3 build stream, like an actual early build. Grey boxes, placeholder UI, scuffed visuals, systems half wired together, the kind of stuff studios normally hide until 5 minutes before launch. And honestly, that part was kind of promising. Not because it looked amazing, it didn't, but because they actually showed the foundations. Map scale, regions, populations, wealth, construction, boring stuff, but important stuff. The kind of systems Medieval lives or dies on. And for the first time in a long time with CA, it didn't feel like a vertical sliced lie. It felt like, here's where we're at, this is rough, this will change, tell us what's broken. That's good, genuinely, it's really good. But, and this is the part I can't ignore, I'm still cautious, very cautious, because I've watched this company talk about transparency before. I've watched early feedback turn into, thanks for your thoughts, anyway here's the DLC roadmap, and I've watched systems that looked deep in early dev get sanded down into something safe, monetizable, and follow by the time budgets and deadlines kick in. So yeah, I like the direction, I like seeing the skeleton instead of the marketing skin suit. I like that Medieval 3 at least looks like it understands what made the old games tick, but trust? Nah, that's not back yet. This is a step in the right direction, however, not a redemption arc. And given everything else surrounding Total War right now, this doesn't feel like they've changed. It feels like they know they can't afford to get this one wrong. And honestly, good. But, and there's a big fucking but here. At the end of the stream, there's one moment that genuinely stuck with me. Not because it was subtle, but because it was the complete opposite. We've just spent the better part of an hour talking about Medieval 3 in this stream. Pre-production, foundations, pillars, priorities, transparency, community dialogue. And then right at the end, when the host is clearly excited, like properly excited, he says this. He starts talking about the Warhammer engine is a fantastic foundation, how flexible it is, how it can handle large open battlefields, 20 unit armies, varying entity counts, elite units versus mass units, and every single example he gives, every single one, is framed through Warhammer, not Medieval. He literally says, as you've come to expect from the Warhammer trilogy. He starts talking about entities, about elite units versus lots of bodies, about fighting over regions on an agri planet.
Am I a joke to you?
And then almost awkwardly, it's clarified. Just to be clear, that wasn't 40k, this is Medieval 3. Are you fucking kidding me, man? An agri-planet is a literal thing in the lore, only in 40k, you utter twat. Why the hell would you end the stream like that, man? And at that moment, that's the problem. Because after an entire hour of Medieval 3 discussion, the thing he's visibly excited to tell us, the thing he uses to reassure the audience, isn't medieval battles, it's Warhammer systems?
Wow.
That's not a throwaway line, that's not accidental, that's revealing. If Medieval 3 was genuinely built around rethinking historical battles from the ground up, that's where the confidence would be, that's where the examples would live. You wouldn't need to borrow comfort from Warhammer to explain it. And look, I'm not saying Warhammer can't handle scale, obviously it can, but Warhammer battles are not deep strategy, they're spectacle first. They're built around asymmetry, abilities, cooldowns, entity blobs, and 1-2 click death spams. That's fine for fantasy if that's your jam. That is not what people are waiting over 2 decades for with Medieval 3. So when the reassurance for Medieval 3's battles is, don't worry, it can do what Warhammer does, that's daunting. Because Warhammer is the era where strategy became the thinnest it's ever been in this franchise. It's the point where fundamentals took a back seat to flash and spectacle, and hearing that used as the benchmark, especially at the end of a medieval focused stream, doesn't fill me with confidence, it does the complete opposite. It tells me that even now, even at the conceptual stage, battles aren't the thing they want to lead with, and when they do talk about them, they use Warhammer. That should worry you. And I just need to add this in here, they just dropped a thank you letter as I was recording this. In this post, they talk about wanting to go back and restore older Total War titles, fix things, clean things up, respect the legacy of the series, and look, as someone who still plays those games, that sounds good. But here's the thing people need to remember. Some of these older games didn't originally have the Total War launcher, they were forced onto it years later. And in that process, things were actively removed. Shogun 2 lost multiplayer chat, for example. Features broke, mods broke, file structures were changed in ways that actively made modding harder, not easier. Some of that wasn't accidental, it was the cost of forcing legacy titles into a modern framework they were never designed for. So when I hear we want to restore older games alongside we're removing the launcher, I'm extremely wary but also kind of confused. Because that raises some very basic questions they haven't answered yet. Are they actually going to restore removed features like multiplayer chat? Are Shogun 2 mods finally going to work properly again without community-made workarounds? Are modders going to be consulted before the file structures get touched again, like they weren't prior? Is Fall of the Samurai going to be changed into just DLC and not a saga so you could pump up the price? Or is Rome 1 going to actually be its own independent sale and not bundled onto the remaster so you can bump up its price as well? Or is this just a technical cleanup that looks good in a blog post but doesn't address what players actually lost? And here's the part that makes me even more wary. If restoring legacy titles is a concrete committed plan, something actively funded and prioritized, that should have been its own segment in the anniversary stream. Not a few paragraphs tucked into a thank you letter less than 2 weeks before the new year, after 2 of your most important events ever. You don't celebrate 25 years of a franchise and quietly bury one of the biggest goodwill moves you could make unless it's still very much a we'll see. That doesn't mean nothing will happen, but it does mean this isn't locked in and guaranteed or clearly defined yet. It feels more like we'd like to do this if time and resources allow it. And after everything that's happened over the last few years, that's exactly the kind of phrasing people are understandably cautious about. And then comes the creator interview. You know that vibe where a company tries so hard to seem transparent that the attempt itself becomes and feels more ironically corporate? That's this moment, because instead of bringing in a critic or someone neutral or someone with genuine perspective on the franchise, they bring in a partnered creator, someone literally on their payroll.
Bruh.
Someone whose entire job is to be positive about their DLC. Someone who gets those DLCs for free, and it's all pre-recorded and scripted and sanitized. Oh yeah guys, look how much we value community voices. Anyway, here's a guy who's literally on our page who's paid to agree with us.
Are you fucking stupid or something?
I'm sorry, but don't piss on my leg and tell me it's community engagement. That's not transparency. That's just marketing wearing a hoodie trying to fit in.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
Like, I understand it, I'm not bashing him. If I was him, I'd be taking this opportunity too. Get that bread, son. But I just can't understand the thought process from Creative Assembly to bring Sotek in. A literal paid mouthpiece for them. The guy who is so gaslighted by sponsored money, free content, and whatever else CA's content creator program BS has for him, that he missed the point entirely when arguing with the franchise's biggest content creator when called out on it. Like, for crying out loud, I swear this guy forgets the script mid-sentence, closes his eyes, and then re-remembers it during the middle of a conversation. Like, for fuck's sake, you couldn't have come across any more fake than this. Nice earpiece too, Sotet, just in case you forgot the script as well, like our Viking wannabe over here. And then they do it again with the Medieval 3 interview with another paid mouthpiece, thinking this will count as another genuine non-scripted conversation. Too bad the guy openly admitted in a stream it wasn't though, right?
Cody was there to do stuff looking dapper.
I was in a really, like, it's weird. So you would think there's like a whole bunch of people involved in a production like this, like 6 or 7 people from CA. You know, the rest of it's actually, it's a whole separate film unit, right? Because it's a studio. So it's like in the studio, giant, great big, you didn't look big there, but I mean, that set was 50 feet across. And like in like, you know, you're like these little chairs up there and there's like a little, and there's no teleprompters, by the way. Like everybody else got teleprompters. We did not have teleprompters. It was just like, go next line. So like I did have an earpiece in though. It was in my left ear, and occasionally they'd be like, there's a person over there talking to me, and he'd say things, hey, so you need to pause after they get done talking on this one. So I'd stop talking and they'd look at me expectantly. And I'm like, oh, I was told to wait. You know, what are you supposed to do?
Just
you know, or occasionally they'd say like, hey,
exist.
make sure to prompt them further right here to get you know get him to go deeper because they missed the talking point. Okay, yeah, cool, yeah.
So confirmed it wasn't genuine at all. For fuck's sake, man. Like, oh my god. Like, what was the even point of even having you two there in the first place, dude? I'd have more respect for Creative Assembly if they just openly admit, like, yeah, this is scripted. Like, just enjoy the stream. That's not live. For fuck's sake, man. Yeah, and I know, technically, publicly, the creator program does not exist, but let's be real. And this is from leaks as well. It still does. It's just that they shortened it down by a lot due to drama and controversy, and suspectedly there is the favored 8, the ones who can't do no wrong, do what they're told, get all the early access, paid sponsorships, free DLC, free games, scripts and more. And now, by the looks of it, personal access to being part of their anniversary stream to try and pretend that they're being genuine. Oh yeah, guys, just put this mouthpiece in. Just make sure that that particular ear is not facing the camera so it doesn't look like you're wearing an earpiece. And just say what we're saying to you in real time. The fans will love it. Like, what? Like, come on. Oh wait, just before I get back, I had to insert this in. It turns out that they're revitalizing the whole thing anyway, for when, conveniently, the 2 new titles come round. So they've gotten rid of, like, the bad little ones that they didn't want part of the program now, and they're hoping in grooming more in with a brand new IP, a brand new fan base, and revitalizing that nostalgia and hope for Medieval 3 hopefully being good as well. Like, come on, dude. Like, anyone who is going to be part of this creator program, or currently is, and you watch their content, and you genuinely think their words are genuine, I don't know what to say to you, dude. Like, it's almost as if, like, you personally want to be gaslit at this point. I've completely, personally blacklisted myself from ever joining this for just having my own opinion. Remember that whole Warhammer 3 DLC price scandal that everyone disliked and did negative reviews for, and I made that community post pointing out the fact they are willingly threatening to stop doing their job if you don't pay for their overpriced DLC? Yeah, shortly after that, when I started trying to post back on Reddit because my other one got hacked, everything I posted immediately just got deleted. So they're that petty that if you have a personal opinion that they think is not deemed good enough for them and puts them in a bad light, fuck you, you're not allowed to do anything. So why would you even trust anyone who does do Total War that says something positive about it? And why would you even trust any positive things coming out of it up until the release of these 2 new titles? And after. Like, if they're in that creator program, they're signed by an NDA not to say negative things, and paid for it, and given the stuff for it for free. Like, it's not rocket science. If you're watching someone who is part of that program and they do Total War content, they are being paid to say what they are saying. Take anything that they say with a huge amount of salt, and don't trust anything they say. It's not hard. Come on, dude. Like, you're not even hiding it anymore that you're trying to buy people's mouths. Now, let's talk about the 40k reveal itself, because if this is the future of Total War, you should be concerned. The trailer was just so bad, it was atrocious, man. Like units standing around like statues, bullets moving in what looked like slow motion. Lasgun's not even firing the correct fucking projectiles for crying out loud, or sometimes not even firing them at all. It generally looked unfinished, and not in a work in progress way, in a this engine was never meant to do this way. So let's dumb it down for the console fan base we are planning to encircle, because RTS has always worked on consoles, right? Right? I mean, the map, just look at it, man. It's literally just a Warhammer 3 Siege map for crying out loud. Like, can you not see it? Same layout, same feel, same DNA, just sci-fi wallpaper slapped on top. Which tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it? I mean, come on, man. Do you see a difference here?
Hey, Patrick.
What?
Look, here's the uncomfortable truth. This game doesn't exist because Creative Assembly had a brilliant vision for 40k. It exists because they lost confidence in making something genuinely new. They were clearly flirting with a World War I style Total War from leaks and ex-employee interviews. I mean, for crying out loud, they had assets laying around to show it off in the anniversary stream. From somewhere along the line, they bottled it, because World War I is risky. 40k isn't. 40k prints money regardless of the quality. So instead of building a new framework from scratch, they latched onto an existing IP, reskinned what they already had, and trusted the brand to carry it, on top of injecting it into a new engine, which we somehow have footage of for 40k, but is also not finished and completed yet. And it will, that's the scary part. I've got friends, real life and online friends, who live and breathe 40k. It's their hobby. It's their spare money. It's their jokes, it's their personality. And look, I don't mean that as an insult, but let's be honest. There's a reason one of the running jokes in the 40k community is the pile of shame. Unpainted models, unassembled kits, boxes stacked in corners saying, I'll get to it eventually, trust me, I will. I mean, I'm one of those people. I have this, for crying out loud.
God damn.
It's literally baked into the culture to buy something unfinished and deal with it later. So of course this audience is going to be fine with the devs doing the literal same thing with the game. A half-baked launch, less somehow equaling more, roadmaps, years of DLC, all lied into a package of, don't worry, this is development. For crying out loud, the game is reportedly launching with 4 factions. That's less than Dawn of War 1 had in 2004, 2 decades ago. So yeah, this will make money, which is exactly why it's dangerous, because it teaches CA the worst possible lesson, that they can half-ass it, sell more later, and make it look like care and work going into an already released product. This isn't just bad for historical fans, it's bad for strategy fans. It's bad for creators. Unless you're in the creator program, I guess. It rewards minimum viable products, it punishes criticism, and it creates an ecosystem where honesty gets quietly pushed out in favor of access. That's how franchises rot, not with one catastrophic failure, hyenas, but with endless profitable mediocrity and fans just fucking accepting it and not voicing their opinions and frustrations. And here's the bit that honestly worries me more than Medieval 3, more than 40k, and more than any DLC roadmap they haven't shown yet. They're deleting comments. Not trolls, not slurs, not people screaming abuse, just criticism. I've already had comments removed where I said the exact same things I'm saying now. Entire factions probably locked behind DLC, less factions than Medieval 2, milking it dry because they've proven they can with the Warhammer games, less mechanics than the games they made 20 years ago, gone. And before anyone says, oh, it's probably automated moderation, no, these were coherent, calm criticisms, no swear words, no threats, nothing. And even the automated moderation gimmick won't work because you manually have to put specific words in YouTube Studio that you don't want to be allowed in your comments. So it's a lose-lose in CA's situation here. It's the same concerns hundreds of people are raising. I just so happen to be a YouTuber saying them with my own comments, which they manually removed themselves. And God forbid if you ever tried doing any of these opinions on the Reddit. I mean, it's not confirmed, but like, because of my opinion about their Warhammer 3 DLC scandal a couple of years ago, whatever I post there automatically gets deleted now. So there's someone there who really does not like my guts for having an opinion on the game that they are fucking moderating on Reddit. But then again, it's friggin' Reddit, for crying out loud. Everyone's over there anyway. But yeah, that's the scary part. Because once a company starts engaging with criticism and starts curating reality, That's when you know something's wrong. You're not being listened to, you're being managed. And if you're confident in your product, you don't need to silence people pointing out flaws. You respond, you explain, you reassure. You don't quietly sweep it under the rug and hope hype alone does the rest. Especially when the criticism is coming from long-time fans, people who've bought your games for years, people who want this stuff to be good. I'm not a 40k hater, I'm not a Warhammer hater. I just generally don't like the direction that Total War is going. I have a pile of shame myself. If the response to that is deletion instead of discussion, then yeah, that should worry you, because it tells you exactly how feedback will be treated once the game actually launches. Because they don't have to worry about the content creators in their program, they're going to follow a set path, a set script, and get the game early anyway, and paid for it. And then they're just going to tell you how grand it is, and it's got no problems whatsoever, and give it a very fair review. And if you think this behavior magically stops when your money is on the line, then you just haven't been paying attention for the past decade and more, have you? Because they don't care how they get your money, they just care that they're getting your money. Please just don't pre-order this when it allows it. If you do it early, you're more mentally down the line when it releases to not refund and keep the pre-order. Legend goes into this video in more depth than me. It also gives CA more incentive that they can get away with it if they see the numbers of pre-orders go up. I'm not even going to try and attempt saying that to the 40k fan base. An overwhelming majority of us buy first, get annoyed later, and never learn, ever. But yeah, that's why I'm making this update, because somewhere between Medieval 3 being a concept, the anniversary stream being a DLC showcase, and 40k looking like a reskinned Siege map, I realised something. Nothing they announced made me excited to play. It made me tired. And when the thing your channel is mainly built around stops inspiring you, you either lie to yourself or you change something. I'm choosing the second option. Going forward, I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be making videos on Total War, but I'm done pretending enthusiasm I don't feel. I want to make content about games I actually enjoy, systems that respect the player, projects that don't feel like they exist purely to justify a roadmap or to make my bank account go into the negative.
Ow, Lord!
If Medieval 3 proves me wrong, generally wrong, I'll happily say so. I'll generally eat my words here and be completely happy. But until then, I'm done giving blind faith to a company that spent years cashing it in. So starting next year, I'm going for my own sanity. I'm going to start uploading onto my second channel. I've recently totally revamped it with a new look and deleted all my old and subpar videos in favour of content I genuinely want to create for it. Look at this cute guy, I made him in Photoshop. Look, I want to be clear about something because this is the part people conveniently forget when they type comments like this. This whole video isn't just about opinions on Total War and a creative assembly. This is about time, money, energy, and reality. I've got a partner, I've got a daughter, I've got a house, I've got a mortgage. I've got responsibilities that don't magically pause because Creative Assembly announced another Total War. Making videos takes time, a lot of it. Editing takes even more, and strategy games especially are absolute time vacuums. A single Total War video can be hundreds of hours playing, like the average video is anywhere between 800 gigabytes to 1 whole terabyte. Hundreds of hours editing. Weeks of work. And if the end result is me feeling burnt out, creatively dead, and boxed into a corner where the only thing people want is more of the same thing I'm already sick of, that's not sustainable. Not financially, not mentally, and not creatively. That's why I'm also searching for taking on a part-time job. Not because I'm quitting YouTube, not because I'm giving up, but because one video every few months aimed at an audience that only clicks if it's Total War and not giving anything else a chance is not a stable way to support a family. And I refuse to pretend otherwise. I'm not going to martyr myself for an algorithm, and I'm not going to keep forcing myself through games I no longer enjoy just because it's what's expected. That's not passion, that's just slow motion resentment. Here's the thing that finally made all this click for me. When I actually enjoy the game, editing stops being a chore. I get faster, I get more creative, I start adding stupid little details I don't need to add but it's fun anyway. I sit down to edit because I want to, not because I feel like I have to. The clearest example of this was the Neighbours video. That video was finished an entire month early to its release. It was done, finished, completed, just sitting there waiting for my friend to extract the 3D models. While I was waiting for that, I finished the Teutonic experience before Christmas. No burnout, no dread, no staring at the timeline wondering where my life went wrong. Compare that to Total War experience videos every single time, where halfway through editing, It genuinely feels like I've been given a front row seat to the Siege of Carthage, except instead of watching history unfold, I'm watching myself edit the same fucking formation change for the 20th time while my soul quietly exits my body. It's not that Total War is hard to edit, it's that it drains me. I mean, for crying out loud, have you seen the amount of custom presets I have in Premiere Pro now over the years? Because I have built-in muscle memory now with where certain UI segments are and their sizes. It's the same day in and out, just with a different slap of paint on the armor. There's no room to talk, there's no room to joke, there's no room to animate, no room to actually be a person. I'm just silently documenting things happening in game, making them look epic with some music and 3D animation, then replying to comments afterwards like that's somehow meant to count as a personality. And that's the big realization. The games I enjoy let me exist in the video. Manor Lords, Space Marine 2, Forever Winter, Neighbours, all projects I enjoyed the hell out of making, but some just not given a chance because it wasn't Total War or an RTS. Those projects let me talk, let me joke, let me write, let me do voice work, let me animate, let me build an actual narrative, and the difference shows, not just in how fast the videos get made, but in how much I actually enjoy making them. That enjoyment matters to me, because enjoyment is the difference between making videos for years and quietly resenting your own channel. And I know I'm gonna get like 1 or 2 people in the comments just like, what do you mean? Like, you just play video games. Why are you so depressed about it? I was like, alright, dude, just go into your Steam library real quick. Okay, now shorten it down to only a particular series, then shorten it down again to just one particular game. Okay, that's what you have to fucking play for several years straight. And the only time you get to branch out is within this bracket of this series and nothing else. And if you do, you're not gonna get paid for it. See what I mean now? I want to play these games. I fucking played a different game in like, I don't know, like 2 months already. I think like the longest I didn't play a different game at one point was a solid year. It was just Medieval 2 back to back to back. Fuck me. That's depressing, dude. So yeah, I'm really excited in starting to make content for the second channel and for it to finally be my creative outlet for games I actually want to play and enjoy and not actually care about the views, because the process of making them will just be enough for me, mentally and creatively. I'm not going to go as hard with the 3D animation stuff so I don't suffer burnout altogether, so don't worry about that. And who knows, it might even pop off and get monetized one day too. But yeah, I'm also really stupid and full-on completionist, so I'm still going to finish all the Vanilla Kingdoms mod factions, don't worry. Medieval 2 ain't going away. I'm going to finish that. I'm also going to return to the Fall of the Samurai, if any mods for that actually work, considering they fucked that up too down the line. But that's another topic for another day if I make something like this again. Maybe by the time I've done all that, Medieval 3 comes out and is surprisingly good, considering these things take months to make anyway. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Fed up, kinda, but still joking about it. Because if you don't laugh, you'll just get angry. Thanks for sticking around if you watched all this. Don't forget to check my other channel. I'm going to start uploading on there soon, sometime in the new year. Also, I just want to quickly add, I'm probably going to remove the YouTube membership thing because I only just found out recently that YouTube takes a 30% cut out of everyone's payments. So if you're actually one of those amazing people that willingly want to give me money to financially support my work, most of your money isn't even going towards me, and I don't think that's really fair. So if you actually are one of those really cool people, I'm gonna delete it and you can migrate over to Patreon, where the money 100% goes to me. And I'm sitting on the fence about this, but I don't know if I want to keep the Discord or not. It's dead and it's only just people talking about asking how I install the mods, and 9 times out of 10 it's just me saying, yeah, they don't work anymore because Creative Assembly made Shogun 2 load into a different launcher, so all those mods are just void. That's why I haven't uploaded Fall of the Samurai, by the way, for a very long time. All the mods that I like just don't work anymore. Like, they purposely changed mod file names, for crying out loud. That's how petty they are. So yeah, I'm sitting on the fence. I'm probably most likely going to delete it. So add your friends, save your memes and whatever, and I'll make an exclusive Discord for all the patrons. That'll probably be more easier for me anyway. Hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and hope you have a wonderful Happy New Year. Thanks for watching. And just as I was about to finish up editing this video, I just realized that I got Warhammer free because Immortal Empires, no matter where you got it, automatically gives you the games for free. So I guess fuck everyone that bought these bare bones broken games on release. I bet the devs are just thinking, thanks for the free money. Forget to buy all the DLC for the free games that we gave you. Thank you. Also, don't worry, the Foxhole movie project is still happening, I'm most likely going to still upload it on here on the main channel. But if the second channel all of a sudden really kicks off and starts making loads of like traction and views and gets monetized, I might even just migrate it over to there. Either way, that's still happening. I've still got the 11 terabytes worth of footage over 3 wars, and the Airborne War has finally been announced for happening in March, the update. So if anyone's got a bit of experience and a couple of hours under their belt and has good communication skills and isn't too immature, then if you're wanting to join my plan, watch my little short video explaining it. It has all the links in the Discord and everything to the ASS plan Discord. Anyway, thanks for watching again. Love you. Bye.
To the grim, dark future with Total War Warhammer 40K! Some of you may know this, but some of you may not know this, but I am a huge fan of tabletop gaming. I painted endless miniatures, spent a crazy amount of time dropping dice on the table.
Fuck!